Hey everybody, how y'all doing? Okay, so a couple more questions. What's with the two channels? With one of them is so why Baha'i and then Eastern Orthodox, and just like how did YouTube play into this? What all these kinds of things. So this is a wrap up, and if you were there while it was happening, you probably don't even see this video because you know what happened, but maybe there's some other details that you didn't know about, and it's kind of funny. So I was tootling around on YouTube. I had been subbed and then unsubbed several times from this lady named Vera47 or 747 or I don't know, Vera something. She's like a black Hebrew Israelite. And I used to watch her for hair tutorials. And then she was talking about her faith, and sometimes she would talk about how she had gotten out of like Jehovah's Witness or something, and then she started talking about like her Hebrew Israelite stuff, and then she would go back to raw foods, and so I would go on and off her channel, just sub on sub, sub on sub. And I don't remember what I was looking for, but it was something about something in Hebrew, I think, because I was trying to add something up Kabbalistically, and her video popped up, and I was thinking, oh, okay, well, I haven't seen her in a while, blah, 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 let me see what's going on. Well, it was one of the stronger videos she has about it, and it irritated me to no end. I mean, it irritated me so much, thank you, baby, that I thought, I really want to write her and let her know some of the errors that are obvious to me. And then I sort of started to dash the letter off, but I thought to myself, well, I wonder if someone else has ever talked this way to her. I wonder if anybody has said these things to her and it's just of no consequence, or she, whatever. So I was considering writing a letter, and I thought the better of it. And then on the sidebar, a video of Yusuf's when he was on his other channel called John Hudler popped up, and it said, concerning Vera. I thought, oh, well, absolutely, someone has tried this. Let me see what his best effort, was. So that was the first video that I had ever watched of his. And I didn't know about Eastern Orthodoxy at all. I certainly wasn't thinking about Christianity at all. But he was talking about spirituality more than directly those things, though those were part of how those spiritual topics came up. But quite frankly, it was just because he was from Chicago and he had a beard. I know, it's so silly. But, I'm from Chicago, so I understand the way he talks. And I always trust a man when he has a beard. Okay, because my dad had a beard. So, but he was smart too, so I could listen to him. And even if he made me mad, like, of course, some of the things he says are just irritating, whatever, or I might not agree with them, but I could still listen to him. And I got to a point where I had to like take notes and check up on what in the world ever he was saying, because even the vocabulary I had no familiarity with. I had never heard of most of the concepts he ever talked about, and I certainly didn't think that any of them had anything to do with anything that was Christian, because that was never any kind of Christianity that was ever portrayed to me, or one that I had read about. So then I had questions for him, and I started to correspond with him, and I was too scared, being that I was on my other channel, to really talk about a lot of these topics, because that's like mainly my business channel, and it was weird how it ended up swelling into a personal one, and I'd never wanted it to, but I made wonderful friends and was trying to keep touch with them. So I would like send in these privatized videos because I was too scared to say a lot of the things that I was trying to say, and then he would try to respond, and there was one video where he said at the end, take that black off your video. Maybe this is the last time I'll send you one because I can't respond to you. And it wasn't there was a black on it. It was that I had privatized it. So I kind of came out of hiding, but at the same time, it didn't stay very long, because I said to myself, okay, well, what if I made a whole other channel just so I could, not just so I could correspond with him, but where I could talk about things, you know, that I wanted to, and I'll just privatize it. I'll just keep it privatized, and only people who, you know me, I'll correspond with, and I won't have to, you know, do anything with it. So that's how cateelizruth opened up, was completely privately, and it stayed private nearly for, well, several months, and it almost gets shut down by me. Well, it used to be more frequent. Like, I would just go nuts and think, I can't do this anymore, because a lot of the things that I say, I do get flack for, is the best way I could say it. People bother me to whatever degree. But then it sort of became not just so I could correspond with Yusuf, but kind of almost in honor of him in a certain sort of a way. But it was also so I could start to chronicle you know, this whole year of investigating that faith and stuff. Well, I'm leaving out a bunch of details, but that's how this all happened. But was it, and here's the weird thing, was it just because of him that I was looking at Eastern Orthodoxy? No. And here's the weird thing that I didn't realize that was going on. The summer of 2010, I had been driving my son every day past a church that was being built very early in the morning. And I could tell that the structure was Orthodox because I grew up in Chicago, and like I say, there's tons of Orthodox there. And I lived in Alaska, and there were lots of beautiful, you know, onion tops I'm used to seeing. So I remember driving past it, and every time I drove past it, I felt this magnet pull right from my heart. I mean, like, I have to go there. And I remember even hearing in my head, my heart say, I want to go there. And I, like, after I said that, I was like, why was I even thinking that? I'm Baha'i, I don't go to church. Why would I even have any interest? And I remembered when it was obvious that the structure was coming up into those billows pointing, because it was, I was like, oh good, I'm going to see onion pops. I was so excited. And I thought it was going to be Russian, because that was really more my main exposure was Russian and Greek. I didn't know anything about Antiochian, which is what he happens to be. So then when it was that I was corresponding with him and the piece of that puzzle like came into place, I had looked it up in my town, you know, hey, where is there an Orthodox church? And if there was, you know, what was it? Well, I had actually gone to like a Greek festival like in '08, so I had known that there was, because I had been there. So I was like, okay, well, at least there's a Greek one. But I did look up Antiochian, and when I saw it on the screen of my computer, I gasped out loud, and I was like, I was yelling at God, no! You did not do this to me! You know, like, I was so mad, even though I was totally grateful, which it was like the simultaneous thing of, because I remembered going past that church, and then I just started to cry. I was like, oh no, this is the one, this was the thing, this was the, and then there's another time, and I've talked about this, where I had prayed one night, and in one of the quotes that I was reading, I had seen something that said about Damascus, and I had never seen that before. And that was another, like, oh, I'm in the right place. So, no, it wasn't just him, and it wasn't just some weird fluke thing on YouTube. But, yeah. So that's how, I hope that kind of explained it. And now he's got a new channel. Go to Yusuful Tahir, and so you'll get to see what he has. And I've mirrored a lot of his older videos just because they were so pivotal. So there you go. That's some of the long and some of the short, and left out many details. And yeah. All right. Peace.